Olympic champion Eileen Gu leads San Francisco Chinese New Year Parade. Olympic champion Eileen Gu will serve as Grand Marshal for the San Francisco Chinese New Year Parade, showcasing her deep connection to the city. Born and raised in San Francisco, the 22-year-old freestyle skiing star carries a personal significance in this new role. Gu expressed her excitement during an interview. "I'm so excited. The San Francisco Chinese New Year Parade is like none other." Eileen Gu's background and accomplishments. Eileen Gu is a 3-time Olympic champion and a 6-time medalist. Recently, she added 3 more medals at the Milan Cortina Games. Gu commented, "This is a special thing to be Grand Marshal and be part of it." Her roots in San Francisco are strong. She attended Catherine Del Mar Burke School and then San Francisco University High School, where she actively participated in sports. Birthplace, San Francisco education, Catherine Del Mar Burke School, San Francisco University High School Olympic medals. 6 Connection to Chinese culture. The Chinese New Year has always played a vital role in Gu's family life. She fondly remembers cooking dumplings with her mother and grandmother. "My mom is the best at rolling them, and my grandma was the best at packing those so full of filling," she shared. Eileen's grandmother, who passed away during the Olympics, had a significant influence on her life. Gu recalls, "She has this indomitable spirit, and I think that it's almost impossible not to live on with that spirit." The parade experience. Although confident on the slopes, Gu admitted that lighting the ceremonial firecrackers at the parade makes her a bit nervous. She stated, "I'm sure there are safety precautions that I'm going to get briefed on. But yeah, first time handling explosives." She eagerly anticipates the bright sights and sounds of the festivities, emphasizing their uniqueness. Event, San Francisco Chinese New Year Parade date, Saturday roll, Grand Marshal looking ahead. Eileen Gu aims to leave a positive impact through her endeavors in sport, fashion, and education. She recently traveled across 3 continents and remains focused on her long-term goals of making a difference globally. As she takes on the role of Grand Marshal, her deep ties to San Francisco and her cultural heritage promise to make this year's celebrations truly special. The streets of San Francisco shimmered in a sea of red and gold as the city welcomed one of its most beloved traditions, the Chinese New Year Parade. Firecrackers burst like sparks of joy in the evening sky, lion dancers leapt and twirled through the crowds, and the rhythm of ceremonial drums echoed down Market Street. But in 2026, the celebration carried an extra sense of pride and excitement. At the center of the spectacle stood Olympic champion Eileen Gu, serving as the Grand Marshal and leading the parade through the heart of her hometown. The event was more than a parade. It was a symbol of heritage, identity, and the powerful connections between cultures. For thousands of spectators gathered along the streets of San Francisco, Eileen Gu represented something extraordinary, a global sports icon who embodied both the American and Chinese sides of her identity while inspiring a new generation of dreamers. A city celebrates culture and tradition. San Francisco's Chinese New Year Parade is one of the most famous celebrations of Lunar New Year in the world. Dating back to the 1860s, it began when Chinese immigrants living in California sought to share their traditions with their new home during the era of the Gold Rush. Over the decades, it evolved into the largest Lunar New Year celebration outside Asia, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. Every year, the parade brings together a spectacular display of floats, dragon dances, martial arts performances, and vibrant costumes that celebrate Chinese heritage. In 2026, the festivities honored the Year of the Fire Horse, a zodiac sign associated with courage, energy, and bold ambition. The symbolic meaning of the fire horse seemed almost perfectly suited to the person leading the parade. Eileen Gu, fearless on the slopes, ambitious in her goals, and proud of her multicultural roots, was a fitting ambassador for the spirit of the new year. Eileen Gu, a global icon. Born in San Francisco in 2003, Eileen Gu grew up surrounded by 2 cultures. Her mother, a Chinese immigrant, raised her with a deep appreciation for Chinese language and traditions, while her American upbringing shaped her education and worldview. Fluent in Mandarin and English, Gu often speaks about how she embraces both identities. Her rise to international fame began at a young age. A prodigy in freestyle skiing, Gu stunned the world at the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, where she won 2 gold medals and a silver, becoming the youngest Olympic champion in freestyle skiing. In the years that followed, she continued to dominate the sport, eventually becoming the most decorated freestyle skier in Olympic history. But Gu's influence extended beyond sports. She became a fashion model, a Stanford University student studying international relations, and a prominent voice representing multicultural identity in the modern world. Returning home as Grand Marshal. When parade organizers announced that Eileen Gu would serve as the Grand Marshal of the 2026 Chinese New Year Parade, excitement spread quickly throughout the Bay Area. For many residents, it felt like welcoming home a hometown hero. On the evening of the parade, Gu appeared dressed in bright red, a traditional color symbolizing luck, happiness, and prosperity. Riding through the streets in a flower-decorated convertible alongside her mother, she waved to cheering crowds lining the sidewalks. Children climbed onto their parents' shoulders to catch a glimpse of the Olympic star. Smartphones rose into the air as spectators captured the moment. Everywhere she passed, cheers erupted from the crowd. Despite global debates about her decision to compete for China in international competitions, the atmosphere in San Francisco was overwhelmingly warm and celebratory. Many locals saw Gu not as a controversial figure, but as a symbol of the city's multicultural spirit. The energy of the parade. As the procession moved forward, the parade transformed the streets into a living painting of culture and celebration. Drums thundered like rolling waves, guiding the rhythm of the lion dances. The giant dragon puppet, stretching across dozens of performers, snaked through the crowd, its golden scales glittering beneath the city lights. Floats decorated with lanterns and flowers rolled down the street, each representing community organizations, businesses, and cultural groups. Children dressed in inflatable horse costumes danced playfully, celebrating the Zodiac Year. The air smelled of roasted chestnuts and street food from nearby Chinatown vendors. Families laughed, tourists marveled at the spectacle, and longtime residents felt proud of a tradition that had endured for more than a century. At the center of it all was Eileen Gu, smiling and waving as she led the celebration, a symbol of cultural connection. For many spectators, Gu's presence at the parade held deep symbolic